Hello everyone, today is Saturday, August 30th, 2025, and we're going to be predicting WWE's Clash in Paris premium live event, or pay-per-view, or whatever it is. I'm going to move this a little bit to the left because I want to show you guys something very important. Now, I want to mention that this is going to be the last live stream WWE Premium Live Event, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, that will be streaming exclusively on Peacock. So the Peacock era that's been with us now for, look at that, 5 years. Wow, that was pretty quick. Will officially end, as all premium live events will be moving to the expensive ESPN service, which I am not too thrilled about. So stay tuned for a special video later on in September, as I'm going to provide you guys 2 legal VPNs that I recommend using for Netflix, because you're going to thank me for this, and they're pretty affordable options if you ask me. So we're not going to get into that now. Let's just go into our start time for tomorrow. So it will be 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central, 12 noon Mountain Time, so Denver, Salt Lake City, for an example. And then, of course, 11 o'clock on the West Coast, which would be Los Angeles and Las Vegas. So, yes, if you are using a VPN, I recommend using a Canadian server. Just trust me, you'll thank me, and I'll get into that later on in a separate video, but let's get into it. What I am going to do is I'm actually going to go to the only women's match first, because I'm pretty excited about this. It's Hall of Famer Nikki Bella taking on Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. The man has been dominating since dethroning Lyra Valkyria for the title. And I'll zoom in so y'all can... I don't want y'all complaining that you... Oh no, I'm nearsighted, I can't read this. But her post-match beatdowns and vicious verbal jabs have been drawn the line for Nikki Bella. The WWE Hall of Famer grabbed the microphone in England and laid down the challenge that Becky Lynch has accepted, setting the stage for an incredible encounter. Unfortunately, I know it's crazy to think, but I just don't think Nikki's going to win. I get it. It's another opponent for Becky. But at some point, you're going to realize to yourself, we're having this match for fun, but hey, I'm happy Nikki is competing in a match, but realistically, I just don't see her winning, so I will give Becky Lynch the win, and she will retain the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Now let's get to the men's side of things. Let's get into the Wyatt Six. So Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis, your tag team champions, taking on the Street Profits. Which I am not thrilled about this, because number one, I thought for sure it was going to be Mello Don't Miz. I thought it was going to be The Miz and Carmelo Hayes taking on the Wyatts. Unfortunately, they're prolonging it. Maybe they want to wait until they're back in the United States to give The Miz and Carmelo the match. I just hope that their egos will stop. Alright? Because, in a way, you gotta feel bad for Carmelo. Carmelo was supposed to be the future of this company in a theory. Maybe he still could be. I think him and, obviously Braun Breaker fit in that category, but let's just get this one over with. The Wyatts retain. And I did read somewhere online that, going full forward, the segments with the Wyatts on SmackDown on Friday, they're going to start to get crazier over time. You watch. I read it somewhere. I'm not going to say where I read it, but yeah, this match is a waste of time. It's going to be a quick match. And I will say, I hope the two ladies right here, I hope they go 10 minutes at least. 15 the most. Okay, this is going to be a good one. The rivalry continues. And the promos have been pretty good for this one. We got Sheamus taking on Rusev. Now, obviously, Sheamus, hopefully the future Hall of Famer one day, which certainly I think Sheamus does belong in that category. Rusev, he's had a good career in WWE. I mean, we know Rusev's start when he was going after John Cena. But yes, it's a Donnybrook match. So pretty much I think this is like no holds bar in a sense. So these two have been completely at it. They've been at each other's necks. I think, if I'm correct, the Raw after SummerSlam, I think these two just couldn't get their hands off each other in the Barclays Center from when I was watching on Netflix. So, Adam Pearce said, this is enough. You two gotta deal with it. So I'm excited for these two. And I think since this is a Donnybrook match, the advantage should go to Sheamus. Because Sheamus is both of these guys are veterans, but I think a win for Sheamus really does give him the momentum going forward. See what Sheamus will do down the line. So I think I'll give the win to Sheamus. Sorry, Rusev. I know you just came back a couple months ago, but you gotta remember, Sheamus never left this company. You went to AEW. Sorry. We're still gonna hold a grudge against you, Rusev. Alright. We got Roman Reigns taking on Bronson Reed. It seems Brunson's just stealing people's sneakers left and right. What's going on with this? I don't know. I just think that this is just crazy. I don't know. I think they're building it up. I hate to say it, but I think Brunson's just gonna smash Roman. It's unfortunate that I have to say it. And I think maybe they're pushing a one-on-one match with Braun Breaker at some point with Roman Reigns. So yeah, I think Brunson's gonna smash Roman. Now, will Roman get seriously injured? I hope not. But unfortunately, you know how things work with Brunson. We've seen him destroy his opponents before. Especially with that big body of his. You don't want to be in the ring with this guy, trust me. So, for argument's sake, I think Brunson wins the match. Roman's just laying out in the ring. And I think Roman will come back the next night. And I think they're just going to, again, build it up for WrestlePalooza where Roman will take on Braun Breaker. That's just the way I look at it, but we'll see. Okay. And here's another one. This is an interesting one. World Heavyweight Championship match, Seth Rollins in a Fatal 4-Way taking on CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight. I think all hell is going to be broken loose into this match. The way it works, it's going to benefit the Vision. I think at some point, Seth Rollins will call out to Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to help him out. Come on, it's obvious. This match is too predictable. You think they're just going to let Seth Rollins drop the belt just like that? You got to remember one thing, and I hope history repeats itself like it did in 2011, right? And maybe Paul Levesque Triple H can do this on an episode of Raw. Does anybody remember a segment? This is what I think will happen. So I think Rollins will win. The Vision will help him out. Then I think the next night on Raw, and it will be similar to what happened with Alberto Del Rio, I think what will happen is there'll be a part where, I don't know, is Rollins going to be laying in the middle of the ring like Alberto Del Rio did? And then what will happen, I don't know, like they'll build it up where, hey, Seth Rollins, you cashed in your Money in the Bank briefcase like Alberto Del Rio did at SummerSlam in 2011. We all know that led to the Hell in the Cell match with Alberto Del Rio, John Cena, and CM Punk. We all know what happened, right? Punk kind of came out to confront Alberto Del Rio, and then I think the week after, I think it was the same episode, Punk locked the Anaconda of Ice on Alberto Del Rio and say, "You're going to give me my match." So I think this is what will happen again. I think it'll lead to that similar thing. I think what will happen is Punk's going to come out. He's going to confront Seth Rollins on Monday Night Raw the next night. And then it'll happen again. And it'll be so funny seeing Seth Rollins lock the Anaconda Ice just for CM Punk to beg Seth Rollins for a one-on-one rematch. Because think about it. See, isn't CM Punk technically owed a one-on-one rematch against Seth freaking Rollins? That's the way I look at it, unless I'm wrong here. I mean, again, it was Seth Rollins who cashed in his Money in the Bank briefcase on WWE World Heavyweight Champion CM Punk. Well, it makes sense. I hope Punk and Rollins get a one-on-one again because they had an epic match back in January on the first episode of Monday Night Raw on Netflix, so that's just my crazy theory. And then lastly, John Cena and Logan Paul. I think this is what's going to happen. I think Brock Lesnar is lurking around somewhere. There's a possibility. I got a bad feeling Brock Lesnar is working for Logan Paul now. I don't know. Anything's possible. But unfortunately, something's going to happen. I think this is the part where you bring in Brock Lesnar, right? So here's what I think is what's going to happen. I think Cena's going to do his thing. He'll lay down the 5-knuckle shuffle. He'll try to hit an attitude adjustment. And as Cena is about to hit the attitude adjustment, you'll hear Brock Lesnar's music play. So Brock will come out. It'll distract John Cena. And I think that's how Logan wins the match. Now, does Logan need to beat John Cena in that sense? I mean, yeah. But then again, you know, what's the point of having this match? I mean, we want to see John Cena take on Brock Lesnar. John Cena has some unfinished business with Brock Lesnar. That's just the way I look at it. I know, I get it. It's a holiday weekend. They're in a foreign country. Oh, and get this. Not only do we have a 2 p.m. start time for the pay-per-view tomorrow, but Monday Night Raw on Netflix the following day on September 1st is going to be at 2 p.m. Eastern. Oh, that's just lovely. At least I don't have to fix my VPN again, because again, I'd rather would watch on my normal DVR and USA Networks on Friday when it's actually live. Okay. I think that's it. I think I've had enough of this nonsensical pay-per-view. Oh, great. WrestlePalooza's coming up in a matter of weeks. Oh! That's it, guys. That's my predictions for this very interesting pay-per-view. These are just up to my discretion. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll be back later on in September to make a prediction for the WrestlePalooza, which will be taking place in Indianapolis. And again, I will be working on a separate video to get you guys how to legal options for VPN. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you for watching.